Good morning and welcome to day 8. So last night we had ourselves a little home invasion by this guy right here. So last night I woke up at 4 a.m. to this guy, little Mr. Mousy there, crawling across my leg and waking me up. And obviously I couldn't fall back asleep with a mouse crawling all over the van, getting into everything, crawling on my bed. So I had to catch it. So I sat up and I waited for him to go into the sink where he was going to get some of that leftover food. And I threw a towel over it really quick, and then I sat there and waited for 20 to 30 minutes at 4:30 in the morning for him to try to jump up on the lip of the sink. And when he jumped up on the lip of the sink, I kind of encircled him in the towel, wrapped it up around him, and then put him in here. He's been in here all night. After I caught him, I was able to fall back asleep again, but that definitely wasn't the best thing to wake up to. But right now I'm walking down the canyon to release him. All right, little guy, you ready to go? Get out of this box. I'll let you go somewhere where you got some cover so you don't get picked off by a bird or something. Alrighty. Go on, little guy. Go on. Be free. Go. Go, 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 run. There we go. Off he goes. Back home. Alright, now that we've got Mr. Mousy taken care of, I'm gonna finish cleaning up the campsite, get the grill put away, get the chair put away, get my knife hopefully dislodged from that brick of wood. I couldn't do it last night. And then we're getting out of here because it is cold and I need to get back to service so I can upload yesterday's video. All right, let's go. So I've got no destination that I'm driving to right now. I'm just getting out of the canyon, getting back to service, and then we'll kind of figure out where we're going from there. There we go. We made it past the sandy part, so it should be relatively smooth sailing from here on out, so that's good. This road was very well defined last time I came here. Like, it was dug out and had berms on both sides all the way down this canyon, but I guess that flood really washed everything out, so not anymore. Now you can barely even tell there was a road once here. Looks like just a riverbed. I'll check in with you guys once I get back to the real world and get some service.
Everybody loved him, so we had a...
And we have made it back to the paved road. I'm gonna pull over, text my girlfriend, let her know I'm alive, check on a few things, and then we're gonna figure out which direction we're heading in. All right, so I let my girlfriend know I'm alive, and I just put Amarillo, Texas into the GPS, drives us through Albuquerque, and I think today's gonna be a pretty laid back day. I'm not really gonna do much. I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way to Amarillo, but we'll stop some places along the way, maybe check out some thrift shops or something on the road. But today's gonna be mostly a driving day and kind of just relaxing because I am absolutely dog tired. All right, so I know my hair looks crazy. I just took my hat off, but I'm driving down the road right here to a McDonald's so that I can leech off their Wi-Fi and get my video posted, because I refuse to go to Starbucks anymore because every time I go to Starbucks, their Wi-Fi is absolutely garbage. So we're going to McDonald's and hopefully their Wi-Fi is strong. There we go. Looks like they're kind of a newer McDonald's, so they should have pretty good Wi-Fi. And if I don't have to, I won't go inside because sometimes you can just park in the parking lot and just steal their Wi-Fi. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Park right next to the building in one of these spots. All right, let's go see if we can connect from the van. My legs are sore from yesterday. Oh. There we go. We're connected. Let's see how fast it is. All right, so it's not the fastest, but it's also not the slowest. We're getting 30 down, 7 up, which should be hopefully enough to get my video uploaded within the next 2 hours. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will check in with you guys when we're done. All right, so it was actually a lot quicker than I thought it was gonna be. I got the video uploaded. I also walked over to Jersey Mike's and got myself a sub, and I'm airing out the van right now. I got the fan on because it smells like there was a bonfire inside of my van from all the smoke last night, so trying to get that out. I was reading up on some weather reports. Someone commented that there was supposed to be like super bad storms in the Midwest this week. So I was looking it up, and it looks like the forecast has changed. So there's not going to be any like severe weather and all that stuff out there. So we should be fine to go there. The one thing that I do worry about more than anything with living in a van is tornadoes and then hail. Hail is probably the one thing that I'm the most afraid of because my solar panels are pretty expensive, and they are commercial grade solar panels, so I bought like super high strength ones. So they should be able to handle like up to, I think it was quarter size hail, but I don't want to push them to the limits and I don't want to test it. So whenever I see that there's hail in the forecast, I typically just try to avoid the area. But the forecast looks good, so we should be okay to finish this drive to Amarillo. Let's hit the road. There we go. Back on the road. Texas. We're about 30 minutes from the border. I just really don't feel like driving anymore today, so I'm pulling into this super small town right here. And we're staying at this little rest stop that I guess the community has set up to allow people to camp overnight when they're driving through. So we're gonna pull in and check it out, and then that's probably gonna be where we are going to stay for the night. I kind of wanted to, with this series, show you guys the just variety of different places that you can stay when you live in a van. It's not all scenic locations or Walmart parking lots. I mean, there's a million different places that you can camp in between, and this place would be one of them. But yeah, today's a pretty laid back van life day. Not really much going on. I've been going 100 miles an hour for the past 7 days, so I'm taking it a little bit slower today and just camping out at this little park. San John Park, free overnight parking. Right on historic Route 66. But yeah, it's just this little park in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico that has a couple parking spots and places where you can stay. So I'm going to pull up, find a spot somewhere, and then I think I'm gonna whip out the Xbox and play some video games since we have a little bit of free time today. So I don't think there's really that much going on in this town. It's kind of right next to the highway up there. Some houses over there, basketball court, but not really much else other than that. And then this is our spot, just kind of, I think there's bathrooms right there as well too, which is nice, but just kind of right here. But yeah, we'll probably make it to Amarillo tomorrow at some point. I don't know if we're gonna go directly into Amarillo or somewhere nearby, because as you guys know, I never have a plan for what I want to do with my days. But yeah, I'll also give you guys a quick rundown on my gaming setup before I hop in and play some Xbox, so that because I don't know if I've ever given you guys a full rundown of how I have my Xbox set up, my gaming setup, and how I have Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So I will show you guys that as well. So this is pretty much how I have my whole gaming setup in my van and how I play video games. Sometimes when I'm driving, I'll store stuff on this chair, so move that over here for now. But basically, I've got my little gaming office chair that slides under here perfectly and kind of gets out of the way. It actually fit perfectly. I do wish that I made this desk a little bit bigger when I built my van, but too late to do now. But it works for what I need it to do. I just wish I had a little bit more room for getting in, because when I get into the chair now, I kind of have to like almost squeeze around to get in there, but it's not too bad. So this is my curved Samsung gaming monitor that's on a swivel mount, so I can take it out, put it right in front of me if I need to when I'm gaming. I can turn it when I'm in bed. I can also turn it when I'm cooking to watch YouTube or watch movies or whatever else I want to watch, live sports when I'm cooking. But typically when I'm gaming, I'll have it set up like this, or maybe angled a little bit, kind of like this. And this mount is actually a locking mount, so it locks back into the wall. And then when I need to pull it out, I pull this string down and it unlocks it. And then when I'm driving, I can push it back in and lock it in place so it doesn't move around while I'm driving. So that's it for the monitor. And then I've got my controller, which when I'm not using it, I store it up right here on this shelf, and it really doesn't fall. Even with all of that off-roading I do, this thing never falls off the wall, even though it's just kind of like sat in there. And it works perfectly fine. And then underneath my desk is where I have my Xbox. My Xbox is kind of stuck right here to the wall, so I actually have it Velcroed to the wall, so you can't really pull it off, and so it doesn't shift around while I'm driving. And then my HDMI for that is run up back through behind the desk, up into the TV, and then I have the Xbox itself the like power brick for it plugged into this extension cord right here that leads up from below the desk up through there, and then it plugs into the wall right here with this little extension cord. And that is honestly pretty much it for how I have the Xbox set up. There's not much really to it, which is why I use an Xbox, because if I had a PC, it would have a lot more moving parts and it draws a lot more power. An Xbox just makes a lot more sense in 1, the power consumption, and 2, the form factor, and 3, it's just simple to use. It's just plug and play. So in order to power the Xbox, I forgot, that's why I didn't turn on when I pressed my controller, I have my inverter. So this is my inverter switch. I need to install it in the wall. I just haven't yet, but I turn that on, and then that allows me to use my 120 volt outlets, which are these kind of outlets right here, and these kind of outlets right here. So then once I get my inverter turned on, my TV will turn on, and then I can also turn my Xbox on with the controller. So now that we've got it turned on, I'll talk about the Wi-Fi and how I stay connected to play all the time while on the road. So I have 2 Wi-Fi options. Number 1 is right here, and that is my Verizon Orbic hotspot. It's just a Verizon LTE hotspot that has 90 gigs a month, or no, it has 150 gigs a month, and it cost me $90. And the good thing about these kind of hotspots is that gaming actually uses pretty much no data, or very negligible data when you're just gaming. The only thing that really uses a ton of data is when you have to update the game or something like that, but just straight up gaming doesn't use a ton of data. And then the second option I have for Wi-Fi, and the one that I primarily use for gaming, downloading games, and pretty much everything in van life, is up in this back cabinet over here. So if I open it up, you'll see that thing with a bunch of blue and red flashing lights on it. That is my Wi-Fi router that I have hardwired into the van. So this thing is pretty cool. It has Ethernet connections on the bottom. I don't know if you can see them. So I can hardwire the Xbox into that if I wanted to. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. And then I would also have to have a cord running from here down to there to my Xbox, which I don't want to do. But yeah, it has these 4 antennas that connect it to the cellular data on both sides of this thing. I keep it up in this box because at night these LEDs are really, really bright. So I can close this cabinet and not have to look at them. It works out great. I've used it for everything from uploading videos to playing Xbox to downloading 160 gigabyte updates on my Xbox, and it is absolutely spectacular. So if you want some more information on that, join my Discord and I will send you all of the info on that. I just don't want to get into too much detail here on the video, but that is pretty much how I stay connected to play Xbox. And then sometimes I'll also use my phone's hotspot, because that is more than good enough a lot of the times to play Xbox on. But anyways, that's enough talking about it. Let's play some games. So before I started this cross-country road trip and posting a video a day series on my YouTube, I was playing a lot of the new Call of Duty, a bunch of Warzone, and then some of the multiplayer, so I think that's what we're gonna play today. And this rest stop that I'm currently in actually has pretty good connection through my router back there, so it should be more than good enough to play all these games on without any lag at all. Typically I get around 60 ping, which isn't the best, but it's not noticeable and it's more than good enough to play games with. But let's see if we can get in and play one. So I don't know how many of you guys that are watching this are the same age as me, but I grew up playing Modern Warfare 2 and playing Halo 3 and COD 4 and all those type of games. Those are my bread and butter back in the day, so Call of Duty is always one of my go-to games. I used to play a little bit of Rocket League too, and then I played Apex Legends for a while, but I haven't played that in a couple months. I've just been playing this. Let's see if we can hit some quick scopes for you guys. But I haven't played in a couple weeks, so it might be bad. Ooh. Ooh. So I also get a lot of people who kind of ask how much power this whole setup uses, and it really does not use that much. I mean, I could sit here and play Xbox if I have a fully charged battery for I think 3 days straight if my batteries didn't recharge at all. So it's really not that bad, and I never really have to worry about it when I'm playing games, like at all almost. And there's just something cool about being able to take this thing anywhere and play games and stay connected to my friends back home. It's really nice. Get some nice POV style action going on here. Battle Royale solos. So I think also a lot of the time the kind of van life that you see online isn't the full truth. I don't even want to say the reality of van life, because it is the reality of van life, but it's not the full reality of van life that you're going to experience. You do live in a van or you do live in a vehicle, because a lot of your days are spent kind of like this, just at rest stops and truck stops, kind of twiddling your thumbs with not really much to do and not really much to see. And I think if you're planning to live in a van or live in a vehicle or anything like that, it's important to see all of the sides and kind of know what you're getting yourself into before you ever decide to live in a van. So if you do live in a van, expect a lot of nights like this. And if you don't have an Xbox, it might be a lot more boring than it would be if you did. I highly recommend getting an Xbox or some sort of hobby to kill your time when you have some downtime in the van at these not so ideal locations. That's ridiculous. Clearly I haven't played in a while. That was horrible. Anyways, let's make some dinner. So I'm gonna try to use that extra shrimp that I had from dinner last night to make a kind of shrimp rice bowl of sorts. So this dinner really isn't gonna be anything too special. I'm just kind of trying to use the food that I already have before I have to go back to the grocery store, which I'll probably do tomorrow, among other things. But get rid of the food I currently have, make room for some more, and then we can make a better meal tomorrow night. So I'm just gonna cook the rest of this shrimp so it doesn't go bad. There we go. Now we just wait for these to cook, for the rice to boil, and then we can kind of mix it all together and we'll have our little shrimp bowls. All right, water is boiling, so we can add our rice, 2 cups, and then take that off the heat, stir it and cover it, and then we'll be good to go. And there we go. Everything is done. Now let's plate it up and eat. And there we go. That'll be dinner for tonight. It's not the prettiest dinner, but it'll do the trick for one night, and then we'll definitely have to go to the grocery store tomorrow. So I know that today may not have been as exciting as the last 7 days have been on my road trip, but it was kind of necessary because I've been going 100 miles an hour for the past 7 days. So I needed a day to just kind of hang out and not really do much. And we're just on the border of Texas right now. So we'll be in Texas by tomorrow. Driving towards Amarillo. I don't know if we're going to actually go into Amarillo. I haven't really looked it up. I'll look up some stuff to do tonight. But if you guys have any suggestions for things to do in Amarillo or east of Amarillo towards Maryland, let me know, because I'm always looking for stuff to do, stuff to check out. I think that's going to be it for day 8 of this vlogging 20-day extravaganza. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button. It really does help. And I've got a little bit of extra time tonight, so I think maybe I'll watch a movie or play a little bit more Xbox, but I will catch you guys in the morning.